Psalm 126 may be the most jubilant of the Shir Hamalos, and perhaps the most jubilant of all of the Psalms. It has two parts. The first is basically a description of the exhilaration that will be felt when the people of Israel return from the exile to the Holy Land. It is a dreamy prophecy that will occur someday in the future. Regarding the Jewish people, many of the commentaries are like the Metzudas David, which understands this as the end of a bad dream. In the future, when Hashem will bring them back from exile, the prisoners of Zion will say that all the troubles that have passed are as if we dreamed a dream. This is to say that all the good which they will have then will cause them to imagine that all of the grief was not in fact true. Rather, it was just a dream in which they were troubled. The Malbim tends to be more upbeat and sees the dream in the psalm as a good dream. Quote, it emphasizes the hope of Israel and how they hoped that God would fulfill our trust in Him through the fulfillment of the prophecies, and that He would release them from captivity. The dream is the dream of the prophet who saw the future as if it is right now. It was as if the joy which we are experiencing now was happening back then. This is as it is written in Jeremiah, thereupon I awoke, and I had seen, and my sleep was pleasant to me. There is no difference between what a prophet sees in a vision and what he sees physically when it actually happens, except that the prophet is happy in his heart alone, and he is not able to bring out the joy in action through the laughter and song of the mouth and the tongue. The Or HaChaim comments on the verse, it will be that when you come to the land, saying, it will be is the language of joy. This is to state that there is no joy like the settling of the land, as it says, quoting the psalm, then our mouths will be filled with laughter. The Zohar is even more effusive. Says Rabbi Yehuda, come and see that it is written, the king is wrapped around in her tresses, from the Song of Songs. After that is the verse, how beautiful and how pleasant. In the future, the Holy One, blessed be He, will delight His world and take delight from His creation. As it says, then our mouths will be filled with laughter. Rabbi Abba says that the day the Holy One, blessed be He, will be happy with creation, there will not have been joy like it since the day He created the universe. The righteous will remain in Jerusalem and will not return to their soil. As it says, it shall come to pass concerning every survivor who will be in Zion and every one who is left in Jerusalem. Holy shall be said of them. A quote from Isaiah. This means that they, meaning the righteous, will indeed remain in Zion and Jerusalem. The idea is of the great joy that will exist when the Jewish people are righteous and permanently settled in the land of Israel. The joy will spread to the nations who will say, Hashem has done great things for them, after which the nation of Israel will express the same sentiment. Further on, the psalm switches to the present time for a prayer for the redemption. In it, the Jewish people ask to be returned like springs in the Negev. The Negev is the southern desert in the land of Israel. The word literally means dry or parched. It continues with a vision of sowing with tears and reaping with joy, as well as carrying out a heavy sack of seeds and carrying in a bundle of sheaves. The idea of springs in the desert is that the Jewish people will be like powerful springs that bring life and vitality to a dried and parched land. One can view the dried and parched land as the abandoned land of Israel or the neglected world of Torah. The idea of sowing with tears and carrying a heavy sack is acceptance of the fact that much hard work will need to be done. However, it will pay off and there will be a large and joyous harvest. An underlying meaning of this psalm was expressed by King Solomon in the Song of Songs when he writes symbolically of the Jewish people, "My mother's sons were incensed against me. They made me a keeper of the vineyards. My own vineyard I did not keep." The vineyard of Israel is the land of Israel in the study of religion. The vineyard of the nations is their lands in the physical professions. One of the evil inclinations of the Jews is xenophilia. They love every country and every profession except their own. In the beginning, there is a strong attraction to foreign cultures and lands. In addition, the working in the physical can be interesting, prestigious, and lucrative. In addition, Eretz Yisrael and Torah can evoke feelings of contempt, albeit with some sentimental affection. Even so, thoughts of Torah and Israel continue to nag the Jews. As a result, they build up a huge rationale about how their current place and occupation are and how little is the greatness of Torah in the land of Israel. In the process, they violate their heritage by both neglect and bad acts. At some point, they get sick of foreign lands and foreign jobs, sometimes for no other reason except that it is inconsistent with their personality. After that, they come to the conclusion the things that were rejected and abused are the things really wanted, and the things chased after and glorified turned out to be the things not really wanted. However, they're trapped by their own words and actions as well as by feelings of guilt and intimidation. That's when the exile really starts. Finally, HaKadosh Baruch Hu has mercy on them and sweeps away the barriers and breaks the bonds. Things like money and possessions are no longer problems. Socially, their best friends wish them a successful Aliyah. This is when the Jews say, "I'm going to Israel." It's a dream. There's work to be done, but it's the work that I wish to do with the return that I want. Thank you.